The Health Department Strategic Framework encompasses 2017 through 2019 and came out in September of 2016, announced by Joanne Fuller, who was then the Department County Public Health Director. So she describes this as a living document that is adapted as needed to guide collective work in a rapidly changing world. The framework is not a detailed strategic plan, rather it is a tool that provides overall direction and guidance on key departmental drivers and priorities. So the results of a planning team from the Multnomah County Employee Survey, Multnomah County's legislation agenda, Multnomah County's health improvement plan, the Central Human Resources Strategic Plan, and the Health Department Division level strategic plans. In combination with consultants, this document came out and it's like a flow sheet. And it has broad categories of environmental drivers, broad goals, key strategies, benchmarks, and metrics. So one of the environmental drivers that sticks out for me is the structural and institutional inequities persist, impacting health outcomes and quality of life, especially for communities of color. The wisdom of the community and our workforce are tools for change. And some of the broad goals that stick out are genuinely engage with communities and staff to drive positive change, recruit, retrain, and promote a diverse, inclusive, and high-performing workforce. Some of the key strategies is to develop a diversity-focused succession plan that recognizes and invests in the talent and potential of our employees. Strengthen the skills of our leaders to manage with intention, transparency, and inclusion. And some of the benchmarks are our leadership reflects the diversity of our overall workforce. A growing percentage of employees report a feeling of a sense of validation and inclusion in the workplace. So these all look really good on the surface. Multnomah County is a very vast organization. So to give you some background, there has been some changes in the leadership structure. The County Public Health Director, Tricia Tillman, was, in a sense, forced to resign this last summer. And then a letter came out to the board accusing the county of racism. The Health Department Director then abruptly resigned, and that was Joanne Fuller. There's also some key members within management in the mental health department that have either shifted over to other counties or who have abruptly resigned. So when I came aboard, there was, I would call a regime change. And the pulse of what the employees were feeling was like a trauma response to all these managers just leaving and without any adequate explanation to why and what's going on and who's going to lead them. Since there has been a resolution which came out about the time of the termination and the resignation of the leaders, before the Board of Multnomah County Commissioners, Resolution 2017-077, signed by Deborah Kafori, and basically stating workforce equity resolution and to address issues of race, gender, disability, and workforce equities. So the Office of Equity and Diversity has started to engage in a planning and strategic plan. Beginning late last year, they did some listening sessions with the employees of color, and I believe there were 4 sessions where employees were able to voice some of the experiences that they've had in Multnomah County, which over the years have been experience of racism. They have now began to do some workforce equity strategic work sessions. And the hopes are, with these 3 sessions, that some action steps can be presented to the board. So, while on the one hand there is evidence of institutional racism, there is key action steps in place, and there is a current that is driving, I believe, it resides with the strategic framework within the Equity and Diversity Committee. My sense of the county with this overall framework is that there really isn't the voice of county employees that represent. It's mostly a hierarchical management structure. And the experience that I have in the county is one of segregation, of almost an isolation. Like, there isn't really much of a connection between all the divisions. And every Wednesday there is a newsletter that does come out called the Wednesday Wire. And this is a way to include all employees in what's going on in the county. So one really has to seek out activities and trainings on diversity and equity, and join work groups that are geared towards creating this vision. So these are kind of broad strokes, and I think, though it's kind of slow, the change process is occurring. Thank you.